Hi, I'm Ruben. I'm master student in industrial design engineering at the University of Twente. And in this video I'm going to show you some nice features within 3D CAD and especially how I use this in my assignment. So the program I use is Solid Edge. It's from Siemens. And the assignment of the university was to redesign a packaging. So the brand I choose is Ben&Jerry's, the worldwide known ice cream brand. And I choose to redesign the packaging. In this case, you see a concept design. It's not the final design yet, but I just placed it in 3D CAD to get an idea if my ideas were possible. So basically the largest adjustments are the lid, and in this case a few dimension changes of the box board pint itself. So what I want to show you in this video is basically how I used some specifications in 3D CAD to model my assembly actually. Because what I had to do is I made a pint and I actually placed it in, we call this a primary packaging. So a packaging, in this case, it contains 2 pints. The primary packaging is actually going to a little bit a bigger packaging eventually. You see it here. It's in this case it's already a bit open, but finally there are more primary packages in one secondary packaging. So what I want to do is keep some dimensions of this primary packaging, basically because it's made for a modular system. Most people know this. It's a system within supermarkets and transportation systems to make sure everything fits on one container, for example. So on this orange primary packaging, it's basically important that I just keep the width and the length of this packaging. The height I can just change, that's no problem. So actually the first problem we can see in this assembly currently is when we go to wireframe mode, there is an intersection between those pints, and when I go back to shader mode, is basically my current packaging is too large for this. The wide of the packaging is bigger than the wide of the primary packaging. So what I did in 3D CAD, and this is basically what I want to show you in this video, I made a part, in this case it's volume, it's my ice cream. So you can see here the ice cream, and the reason why I modeled this is the ice cream is a pint, so this means there has to always fit a certain amount of volume in my packaging. So when we look at the properties of this volume, it's currently around 473 milliliters. So this is the actual amount of a pint. So what I did in the program was, in 3D CAD, is I can just adjust some of those dimensions. So in this case it's 45. So currently it does not fit, so I make it 40, and this 35 I make 33. So when I run the physical properties again, I will see it's much lower. So currently it's not the required amount of ice cream, it's not a pint. So what I did is, with Solid Edge, this way of modeling, I can adjust the dimensions in a certain way, because my height I can just change. We saw it at the primary packaging. So currently I want to change my volume to the target. In this case the target is the pint, the 473 milliliters, and I want to use the plane, and the plane is actually the top part of the top face of this part. I just linked it. So I just say, okay, you can do that, and what we will see now is it calculates till I have this certain amount of volume. And when I just go to properties again and I update, I will see I have the certain amount of volume for a pint. So the nice thing is I made the assembly and I just relate the basic part. This is a assembly part, a sheet metal part, and I just related it to my original volume, so it actually changes with the change of the volume. The same thing with the lid. I related the lid to the actual diameter of this this sheet metal part. So when I go back to my primary packaging, I will see I've solved the intersection problem. Of course, I can make it a little bit lower if I want. If I want to make them a little bit more close. But another very important thing when I just turn off the perspective now and I go to top view mode, I can see my packages, my pints actually fit in the primary packaging. So with this, I can make sure I still have the pint volume of 473 milliliters. And I can adjust my dimensions in this way. It actually fits to the original assembly. So of course in this case I have to adjust my primary packaging, and the nice thing about Solid Edge when I model this synchronously is I can just pick it in assembly mode and just change it. So currently I can just adjust this to, okay, I can do it with key points, but I just do it fast now. I can adjust this, and of course I have to adjust some final things, but this is basically it. I can just change my things based on what should fit in the modular system. So it's still, this packaging still contains the pint, the 473 milliliters, and it fits now in the primary packaging. So this is a pretty nice feature in 3D CAD.